All right, welcome to another Go Games trade-in video. Doing something different here. I'm going to record over the video here afterwards, so hopefully it should sound a lot better. We invested into a lot more equipment and all that, but who cares? There's a bunch of crazy games here, all sorts of awesome Wii stuff, 3DS stuff, some cool Game Boys here, like that lime green Game Boy in the original box. And check this out, we got the original trifecta of Pokemon games. Though this poor Blastoise is missing an eyeball. Some kid definitely did this. So let's be honest here. That's something kids do. Is they're like, you know what? I'm just gonna remove the eyeball from this artwork because I'm cool like that. Here's Pokemon Yellow. It's a bit dirty, but we've actually cleaned this up a lot more than what you're seeing here in the video. You'd be surprised at what you can do with the right equipment, really make these things shine. And here's the Pokemon Red. Looks beautiful. Beautiful copy of Pokemon Red. These are some of my favorite games, personally speaking. I absolutely love the original Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue. I never could get into the other Pokemon games, but Red, Blue, the original Fat Game Boy, man, that's what it was all about. We got some other DS games there, Brain Age, and we got Diddy Kong Racing for the DS. Some guys might not know they did this. They did a Diddy Kong Racing for the DS, but they didn't get all the characters, which is a big shame. And here we've got the complete in-box Game Boy Color Kiwi flavored. I didn't know if it was lime, kiwi. It is kiwi. We have confirmed kiwi flavored Game Boy Color. If you lick this Game Boy, you will taste kiwi. Guaranteed. Guaranteed by the Go Game. No, please don't lick your Game Boy Colors. But beautiful packaging. The Game Boy Color was a fantastic system. Really awesome stuff. And we're going to go ahead and pull this bad boy out and take a closer look at it. These Game Boy Colors are very, very exciting to get into the store. And we have a huge selection of Game Boy Colors right now. We got all the colors of a rainbow here. And this Kiwi Game Boy Color. This Kiwi Game Boy Color in particular, very, very great condition. Very clean, and the back's not all scratched up or anything like that. Basically brand new as far as I'm concerned. This is a hell of a crazy, crazy good looking Game Boy Color. Awesome stuff to get in. But of course, we got the original Fat Game Boy over there. But we're going to take a closer look at this box first here. The box is in pretty good shape too. These bigger boxes, it's always hard to get them in decent shape, but that one's pretty good besides that tape on top, but that's always there, and it's always a pain in the butt to remove. But what about the Fat Game Boy? Oh yeah, the original Fat Game Boy. This is the thing too big to contain. I don't know what flavor this tastes like if you lick it. Honestly, if you lick an original Game Boy, you will probably get radiation poisoning. Though honestly, that should be an origin story for a Marvel superhero. Where did you get your powers? Were you bitten by a spider, or were you from an asteroid or something? No, I just licked a Game Boy and now I can shoot lasers out of my eyes due to radiation. I mean, come on. We've had a Game Boy that survived a bombing in the Gulf War. That's a cool story, by the way. The Game Boy that survived bombing in the Gulf War. Look that up if you haven't. All right. You know what? We got an original Game Boy and a copy of Game Boy Red. Pokemon Red, not Game Boy Red. We got Pokemon Red. We've got a Fat Game Boy. We're putting these together. We're going for it, dude. I'm going to play me some Pokemon Red here. Why on earth wouldn't I? Just gotta adjust the amount of green I would like to see in the this Fat Game Boy. I'm not sure if it's correct to call it the brightness, which it is. How much green do you want, and how much black do you want? How much green do you want? So we're gonna just continue our playthrough here on the go. We delete the saves, check the save battery. That's something we do for all the Pokemon games we get in here. You're about to witness a live Pokemon battle here. Charmander's good enough. Look at this. He looks pretty mean, that Charmander. He's got some pretty big eyeballs there. I like the original design of the Pokemon. They look mean. They weren't cute, man. They were evil. These were evil monsters. We're not going to name this Charmander. And of course, you got to have a battle in the middle of the laboratory. to entertain the scientists who are working here, which is completely believable. I mean, if I worked in a remote research laboratory in the middle of a small town America, you don't think I'd be tempted to have my research animals fight each other for the entertainment of our scientists? You had better believe I would do that. All right, Gary, you're going down here. Of course, he counter picks you. He picks Squirtle. You got Charmander. Squirtle looks a little derpy there. I don't quite know. It's hard to tell if I'm losing focus or if the Game Boy is naturally getting blurry. As you can see, we have engaged in the classic battle of Scratch versus Tackle. What's the other crappy move? Scratch and Tail Whip and Growl and Tackle. There we go. Critical Hit is absolute bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on this Squirtle here. I don't recognize this as a legal sanctioned Pokemon battle anymore. But just a few more scratches and he goes down for good. He's getting the animations were classic in this game. Just how should we animate Tail Whip? We'll just move the sprite from left to right and just call it a day here. Charming games. So we got a whole bunch more stuff in, like this Lucario amiibo here. This is pretty cool. People go crazy for these amiibos. We got a whole bunch of DS and 3DS games. A lot of them are pretty cool. Not this one. Pets Dog Fashion by Ubisoft. Jesus Christ, Ubisoft. What are you promoting? This is animal abuse. But the people in California actually dress their dogs up like that, or, across the world, people are just like, you know what if I put angel wings on my dog? Thankfully, there's good 3DS and DS games here to be had. Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask here, both awesome remakes for the 3DS. I know some people prefer the originals, but I always thought 3DS games were pretty awesome remakes of them. And honestly, any way you can get these classic 3D Zelda games is a good time for sure. And here's another Metroid game that a lot of people, I think, kind of already forgot about. Metroid Samus Returns. This was their first stab at returning the 2D Metroid for the 3DS. And I heard it was pretty fun. And here we've got the two Pokemon games, Pokemon X, Pokemon Y, and the other two, Pokemon Moon and Pokemon Sun. Whole bunch of fun Pokemon goodness there. So try them out if you haven't already. And here's Brain Age 2. I've never really messed around with those work your brain kind of games that claim I'm becoming a genius because I can do a crossword puzzle every now and then. But, some people enjoy them. And we've got some Switch games here. We've got Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 for the Nintendo Switch. Ultimate Alliance games. Oh, man. Now, those are good games, the Ultimate Alliance. If you haven't played them, play them. Paper Mario, fun game. Awesome writing. I've never played this Sakuna Rice game we see here. And I couldn't believe we got this one in. The Ninja Turtles Cowabunga Collection. This is pretty new. Very surprising to see it already brought in and traded in to the store, essentially. I've heard mixed things about the Cowabunga Collection. I heard the emulation isn't so hot compared to just playing it on the originals. I haven't tried it myself, though. And we got a whole heckin' load of awesome Wii goodness here. We've got the Mario Brothers. These Star Wars games are a ton of fun. The Lego Star Wars games. I never really dived into them, but every time I look at them, they seem like such a joy to play. You can play as so many weird characters, all the side characters. And here's the Metroid Prime Trilogy. Legendary game for the Wii. I would say it's probably the best Wii game on the system, to be honest with you. Kirby's Epic Yarn is also cool, but the Metroid Prime Trilogy, first of all, the Metroid Prime games are already amazing, and you're getting all three of them for the Wii. And you can use the Wiimote to control where you're aiming, and it just makes the gameplay so much smoother than your traditional 2 analog stick setup. I can't recommend it highly enough. Okami, another fantastic Capcom game made for the Wii, and is also a lot easier to do the writing. I knocked over a chair. A lot easier to do the writing, like write some hiragana stuff to do a special attack and all that. Here we've got WarioWare Smooth Moves. If you've never played a WarioWare game and you like weird games, well, you need to go play the WarioWare games. They're like mini games where you do just absurdly nonsensical things like pick someone's nose or mow the lawn or get a haircut. I don't know. It's a fever dream, the WarioWare games. There's Twilight Princess, another great game. And check this out. Attack of the Movies 3D. This game actually stunned me when I saw it. I have never heard of this game, and it is apparently some sort of gallery shooter where you are fighting in famous movies, I guess, and it comes with 3D glasses. And I checked, and we have 3 pairs of 3D glasses. We don't have all 4, but we do have 3 of them. And rest assured, we will make sure you get those 3. I miss this era of gaming where it was just so weird and absurd games that just release that would probably never happen nowadays. Like, what is that game? I don't know. And I want to find out. And maybe I will find out on this channel one day. Maybe I will make that dream a reality. Here we've got some PlayStation 1 games. Here's Uprising X, a game I really want to play because, honestly, anytime I see a game and you're just controlling a tank or a helicopter or a jet, I'm interested. I want to play it. I don't care how generic it looks. I don't care how crappy it is. I've got to play it. I'm a fiend when it comes to games where you can control a tank and stuff like that. There's the Hulk game for the PlayStation 1. I've heard nothing but bad about that one, but who knows? And then we got this collection of Atari games, which is pretty cool. The Atari is a bit older than, significantly older than I am, I guess. I never really got to try out the original Atari, but people swear by it, and I do want to try it out because it's a legendary system, really. I mean, this is when arcades were huge, and the Atari was like, you know what if you could play video games at home? And it blew everyone's minds, and the Intellivision, basically the same thing as far as I'm concerned, but a very interesting era of gaming where arcades were huge, and it wasn't about trying to make a new game. It was like, the arcades that we go to and we love, we're going to try and bring that into the home. It'd be very interesting to see what gaming would become if Atari didn't come out. I mean, people forget that Nintendo made arcade games before they were doing their Nintendo system. We're moving on to PS3 games here. Here's a Oblivion Game of the Year edition. Only $10, man. This is like hundreds of hours for $10. If you played Skyrim and you love it, dude, you've got to play Oblivion. I don't know what you're waiting for here. It's $10. You could probably find it for like $5 in a dumpster somewhere. All I know. Skyrim, the same thing. We never played it. There's just tons of hours to be played in that game. Metal Gear Solid 4, another fantastic game. Dead Space series. I love the Dead Space games, though I've only played the first one. I've got to play 2 and 3 still. And here's another Atari anthology. Again, the Atari, I don't know, it's different. It's something I really want to check out. It's not something I have nostalgia for, but I see and hear so many people talking so passionately about it that I kind of want to see it for myself, If you're a fan of the Atari or you grew up playing Atari games, let me know in the comments below. I always love to hear from people who really play the Atari as their first system. It's just interesting. Here's another interesting release, the Sega Classics Collection. This is where Sega took their classic games and gave them like full-on 3D remakes. Golden Axe, Outrun, Space Harrier. And they really upped the graphics and released this collection to the PS2. And I thought it was a very ambitious and interesting release, though I think hindsight has shown that a lot of people prefer the actual classics instead of the 3D remakes. And I understand, but I still appreciate that Sega tried to do something like that. Here's Simpsons Road Rage, which every time I see it, I think it's Simpsons Hit and Run, and I get excited. And then I realize it's Simpsons Road Rage. Here's another game. Yu-Gi-Oh! Capsule Monster Coliseum. One other one I've never heard of. I've heard of Yu-Gi-Oh! But this is apparently, looks like some sort of tactical RPG in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Universe, which sounds awesome to me because I am a huge fan of tactical RPGs. Front Mission, Final Fantasy Tactics, Vandal Hearts, which if you continue watching this channel, you will hear my unending praise for Vandal Hearts for the PlayStation 1. I love tactical RPGs. Here's the Bionicle game. I've never touched a Bionicle or purchased one, but I'm sure there's Bionicle fans out there, just like there's Atari fans. But no, cool stuff for sure. And Super Mario Sunshine there. And yeah, that is the trade-in video. That's everything that's come into the store. This is shot right after the hurricane when we just opened up. So if you like this new format, or if you kind of want to see more videos, maybe you want to see reviews or something, let us know in the comments below. There's going to be a bunch more videos in the pipe. I'm currently in the process of shooting a bunch more videos for this YouTube channel. So stay tuned. And yeah, seriously, you Atari fans out there, let me know what growing up with the Atari was like and all that jazz, because I always love to hear about it. And if you see anything interesting here that you guys want to buy, reach out to us on our Facebook page. We will do shipping if it is an order of $50 or more. Just hit us up on Facebook Messenger. We'll figure something out, and you can always ask and see what we have in stock. All right, guys, take it easy.